What's up, everybody? Welcome back to week number 2, day number 2 of commercial diving school. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. If you have any comments or any questions, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below. I'll get to it in a future video. Now let's get started. Now, first thing in the morning, we had breakfast. They had eggs, hash brown, sausage, and French toast. After breakfast, we did the morning muster at 8 a.m. After muster, we were pretty much diving in the tower all day. Now, the dive tower is 20 foot tall. It's completely filled with water. It's about 10 feet wide, and they have a staircase going up to the top. And once you get up there, you're up on the platform, and everybody had to have a chance being a diver, being on comms, and being a tender. So everybody was in constant rotation, so everybody could get a turn. Now, the tender, basically their job is to assist the diver into the water. They also assist with getting their gear on and getting the hat on, making sure all their connections are hooked up, and making sure they have communication. And then once they're actually in the water, they're just tending their umbilical, which means they're basically holding on to their air hoses, just in case the diver wants to communicate something. They can pull on their umbilical, and the tender will feel that tug, and they'll know that something's going on. So that's the job of the tender. They pretty much just stand by while the diver is in the water if anything goes on. And then you have the person on comms. Comms stands for communication. They're basically on a radio box talking back and forth to the diver, which is the only way you can really communicate. So their job is to make sure the diver's okay, make sure that if the diver needs anything, just they have full communication the whole time. You're not always talking over the comms. You're kind of just relaying like a quick message, and then they relay a quick message to you, and then you're not really talking the whole entire time. The dive tower, if you're a diver, what you're going to be doing is, as soon as you get the hat on, your tender is going to grab a hold of your harness, and he's going to basically guide you to the railing to get into the tower. And then you basically, when you get into the water as a diver, you're basically going to be, climbing down the ladder, and you're going to be equalizing. There's a little knob that you push in, and it pushes this device up against your nose. Since you can't touch your face, it's gonna push it inside the helmet, and then you can push your nose up against it and clear your ears and equalize. And you do that a few times on the way down. And then once you get all the way down at the bottom, you just basically hang out down there for about 45 minutes. There's a little window that you can see out of the tower. You can see people walking by, they can see you, they can come up, say, hey, wave at you, or be like, or try to mess with you or whatever, just make faces or whatever. But all in all, super fun. I had a great time, I had a blast. I actually took a bunch of videos, so if you want to see those videos, I think I'm going to do one big edit of all the different videos I took and just put them all together and upload that. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out for it. It's because it's coming up. So then once you're done with your dive, you basically just come back up the ladder, take all your gear off, and then they get ready for the next group. We're basically doing that up until lunch. And then for lunch, we had shredded chicken nachos. So all the fixings you would have for nacho day, corn, rice, beans, all that kind of stuff. But instead of ground beef, we had shredded chicken. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty good. But so after lunch, we were back at the dive tower, trying to get the rest of everybody a turn diving and getting through all the groups. I did want to mention that the difference between the 2 dives that I've done. So I've done 2 dives so far, in the pool, in the little swimming pool, and now in the dive tower. I just wanted to talk about the difference between the 2. Now the first one, we were diving on a different helmet or hat. For that hat, it was very foggy. So the same thing if you're in a car and you don't have the defrost on and you're basically trying to drive blind. That's kind of what it was for that hat. So it did get a little freaky the first time, putting on all the gear and the hat and getting in the water and stuff like that. It was a little freaky to do without being able to see very much or hear very much besides a guy talking to you through a radio that's like 10 feet away from you. And then I had an issue where the gear was kind of weighing down my back. Like I really felt it weighing heavily on my back until I got into the water. The water helps support that weight. So you just kind of have to bear those 30 seconds when you have the hat on and all that weight on you and you get into the water. So that today, for my dive today, it wasn't my back, it was my neck. Like all the gear I had on was perfectly fine until I put on the hat. That was the only issue I had, was that 30 seconds putting on the hat and all the way up until I got into the water. It was about 30 seconds long and it was like really starting to weigh heavily on my neck. And I think it's my neck muscles. They just have to get used to the weight. They just have to build a tolerance over time. So that I'm not too worried about because that will happen over time. I also wanted to mention that we only had one issue with someone kind of being on the edge of, no, I don't want to do this. I don't think he was like, I don't want to do this at all. He was just like, I don't think I can because of I'm having issues with like my harness. He was having issues with the neck dam, which is basically like a wetsuit material that seals up the bottom of the hat. It was a little too tight, a little too restricted for him because he had a bigger neck. But we did get him a bigger neck dam. He finished the dive with flying colors. He did great. So just so you know, if you're having any fear beforehand, before going to school, just know that you will get through it. You'll be fine. So don't worry about it. It is a different environment in the helmet if you've never experienced something like that, like scuba diving. But you can breathe. There's even a valve or a knob on the front of the helmet where if you turn it, it free flows air into your helmet. So that's what the instructors recommend, is like, even if you feel the slightest like, oh, like just crack that free flow and you have air. You're gonna breathe. You're gonna be perfectly fine and you're gonna get through it and you're gonna have a lot of fun. So that's my biggest takeaway, was it was just so much fun. Next time we dive, we're probably going to be in the river, so I'm super excited for that. Stay tuned for those videos. I'm going to try to GoPro those videos too, and stay tuned for anything coming up on the schedule. I know we have more tests coming up. I thought we only had a few tests for the whole entire time we were in school, but we have a lot. We have like 10, I think. So stay tuned for anything coming up in the schedule, tests, what we're doing tomorrow. Definitely stay tuned for those videos. So that's all I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment or a question. I'll answer it in a future video. Like I said, thanks for watching and hope you have a good one. Peace.